Wanda is considered one of the most passionate and positive people you'll ever meet, both personally and professionally. Her inspirational mentoring, sales, and customer service training has dubbed her to be Wanda D. Hollis, the Motivational Queen. She launched Wanda D TV, a revolutionary online real estate talk show where local businesses and community leaders discuss their services, issues, and concerns. Wanda is passionate about helping people achieve their goals and dreams. She has gone on to pursue many passions, including her I Am Enough talk show, having a seat on the West Georgia Board of Realtors, author of inspirational and motivational books, and also a strong supporter of several nonprofit organizations within her community. Wanda believes that there's no such thing as bad decisions, only regrets of not making the right attempt. For speaking engagements or to book her for your next event or conference, please visit www.IamEnough365.com.
Go through with PTSD also, I'm ex-military, but I learned how to turn it into microphone techniques. So I'm gonna freestyle and then I'm gonna tell y'all a little something, because Wanda D told me to freestyle. Say, I am enough.
I am enough.
I am enough. Hard with the drums. I am enough.
I am enough.
I am enough.
I am enough.
I come from the boogie down, south side of town. MCs like me, we come incredible. See, I've been spending so much time in my head. Grab the microphone. Did you hear what I just said? I got skills, rocking on the mic. I pay bills all the time. Rapping on the beat with the rhyme. I'm coming off the top of my mind. I do this all the time. This is how I grind. I am enough.
I am enough.
Sing it. I am enough.
I am enough.
I am enough.
I am enough.
I am enough. Times right now totally rough. Every time I'm dealing with this stuff, I grab the microphone and I don't bluff. But when I hold the microphone, I'm like the bluff. Sit back and watch the crowd rock. I grab the microphone non-stop. Blast the microphone is, I got a bonus to grab this mic and do just what I like. Too much hesitation, I had to take a turn. Sit back, relax, so I can unwind. Messing with my mind. Now I gotta come out here and show this one time that I could unwind. Say a little stuff that was on my mind. And this is how we do. Are y'all with me? I'm with you too. Say, I am enough.
I am enough.
Say, I am enough.
I am enough.
Come on, times are tough and you know it's rough, but say, I am enough.
I am enough.
Say, I am enough.
I am enough.
I am enough. I am enough. I'm from the Bronx, baby. Alright.
In the AT.
In the ATL. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Wanda D, the motivational queen, your accountability coach, helping you get it done, and host of the I Am Enough talk show. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Tell everybody that it is time to get started. It's 5 o'clock, and that means we are live. You know, when every time I hear that song, that just does something to my spirit. You know, that just stirs it up, because I think every day we need to affirm that we are enough. Can I get a whoop whoop? So if you're tuned in from, let's see, if you're tuned in watching us from YouTube, please hit that bell and subscribe and leave a comment so we can comment. Also, if you're watching from Twitch TV, thank you so much. In any of our Facebook platforms, we would just want to thank you for tuning in today. I'm so excited to be here. We have a very, very, very special guest. I'm talking about the one and only Mother Earth. And we're going to be talking about foods that heal, but one food in particular, and that is sea moss. We're going to be covering sea moss. So today, if you are, or I should say this, if you know of anyone that's interested in learning more about CMOS about the healing benefits of it. She's also going to be doing a demo. So you all are in the right place. So I need you to do me a favor, hit that bell, and just, say something, say like where you're tuning in from, invite your family and friends to watch, because we are going to have a really, really, really good time. But before we do that, I want to tell you about some things that I have coming up. Yes, I'm so excited about this. On Saturday, April the 23rd, I will be in Fayetteville, joining the Brown Skin Women of Influence and Power Brunch Tour. This is going to be a tour, excuse me, but we're going to kick off here in Metro Atlanta. So we'll be in Fayetteville. You all can, let me see if I can find a flyer for you right quick, right quick, right quick. I want you to think about this. If you know of anybody, business women or women of influence, powerhouses, people that would like to get around people moving and grooving and shaking things up, this is the brunch that you want to come to. It is going to be fabulous. I want to give a shout out to the hosts, and that's Sandy and Miss Terry T. Love Coleman. They are going to be our hosts at this event, and we're going to be talking about some very, transparent things, some inspiring things that goes on in our day-to-day operation, and just what keeps us motivated and what allows us to just keep pushing through. We're going to have the chef is going to be preparing a beautiful, I want to say beautiful brunch. Oh my goodness. You're talking about lump crab cakes. You just gotta, you know what? I'm gonna tell you this. Go check out the Eventbrite, pull it up, and then you can see everything that's going to take place. So that's going to be on April 23rd. And that's going to happen at 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So just make sure that you check that out. Another event that I want to bring to your attention is our the summit of the Black Masterminds, which is going to be happening in Kansas City. This right now, tickets are on sale. Early bird special tickets are only $149. And you know what? This is a 4-day event packed with everything you want to experience, from a business expo, white night, fancy, where you're dressing up and having a great time. We got conference sessions that shows you how to get that money. We got brunches and graduations. You all are going to be in store for a treat. Now, I'm a part of the National Black Mastermind, and the reason why is because we need to stop trying to string together our businesses by, bootstrapping and, a wing and a prayer and a bag. We need to really, really know how to set a foundation, so therefore we can win, and we can win big. So that's why I became a part of the National Black Mastermind. And this event that's going to be taking place in June is something that you really need to come and experience. So hope to see you there. Now, why come to the I Am Enough talk show? Let me just tell you why you should come to the I Am Enough talk show. Because our focus is all about you. If you are an entrepreneur, if you are an artist, an author, we want to help shine the light on you. We want to get to your message, your backstory, so then people can understand why you do what you do. And that's what this show is all about. It's all about exposing you so you can tell your story, so you can be able to tell your testimonial, and attract who you need to attract. But people have to get from behind the closed doors. You're not a secret agent. So if you're a philanthropist, if you're a business owner, entrepreneur, artist, author, the work starts after you say yes to the dream. So we're that platform that gives you your yes to come on board with us and connect to our viewers in a very, very special way. So that's what we're doing today. And today we're talking about healing. We're talking about foods that heal. And I'm so excited because, that is definitely a mission, to try to put in the right things you know, in your body, your spirit, your soul, your mind, your heart. So then you have um the right outcome. And I am, without further ado, you know what? I'm gonna stop playing with y'all and just bring to y'all my guests. I met her at an event. I was at a networking event. I want to say it may have been a couple years ago. Time flies so fast, you know, just like that. So, and it was her light. It was really her light. She was shining so bright. She was energetic. She was happy. She was smiling. You know, they were selling products, and her name, when she introduced herself to me, it was Mother Earth. And I was like, what? Mother Earth? Like, you know, names for me is everything. So I was just like drawn to her. And she was we were blessed to have her be a part of our last year of our Black History Month celebration. We celebrated every day. I had a different guest on, and she was one of our guests. Now, when I met her, like I said, I was just drawn to her because when you are passionate about what you do, it shows. You know, it comes through in every way. I don't care. Just like being happy, I think people that operate out of their passion are just happier people. I may be wrong, but I think I'm right. So, what I need you to do to make me happy is hit that share button. Tag some friends down. If you're watching on Facebook, tag some friends and tell them, you know, hey, the I Am Enough talk show is on and it is lit, as the kids say. It's lit. So that's what you do. You know, when you're operating out of your passion, you move different, you sound different, you act different. And so without further ado, I'm going to bring to you Miss Lavonda, Mother Earth. How are you, darling?
Queen, greetings. How are you?
I am, you know what? I am over the moon. It's life is so funny because you know, I was feeling a little like tired or little, you know, just like a little on the slow side, but it's like the moment the time comes, the energy just comes from, I think it's just operating out of your passion. You just find the energy just like poof. But enough about me. How are you? And thank you for joining us today.
No, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And it's a beautiful day. I am well, like the sun is out. I'm getting all that vitamin D. I was just outside in the yard a few minutes before we started, and it's just really beautiful outside. So if you're sitting in the house, please try to go outside and catch some of those rays because that's very important to our well-being and our health as well.
Absolutely. And you said digging in the yard. Now I just saw a video where you was tilling the soil.
Mhm.
You got a good workout, right?
Oh yeah, that it is okay. So I try to plan everything that I'm doing in the garden, all the way up to the time I put the seed in the soil. And sometimes Mother Nature just does not cooperate, or other things happen, and our tiller would not start on the day that I planned to till everything. So we had to go to Home Depot and rent this mega supersized tiller. And it was just throwing me all over the place in the beginning. So I didn't catch that part. But when I more under control, he got me.
Well, praise God for husbands. You know what? I'm excited about this conversation that we're going to have, you know, talking about foods that heals, and our main product today being sea moss. But before we get started, Mother Earth, I'm going to move out of the way and just let you introduce yourself to our viewers, and then I'll come back and we'll chop it up some more.
Okay. Okay. So I am Lavonda Mother Earth Williams. And let me just say, I did not give myself the name Mother Earth. I had a history of how should I put it? I was not always the woman that you see before you. Like, I had some struggles, and but when I started getting through it, I used gardening to get through that. And my children would see me, they started to switch when I went from hanging out all the time and just, not being present, to actually being present in the garden. Like, my first commitment to my change was to God and to myself and to the earth, to Mother Earth. And I started getting in the garden and working through my challenges while working through the soil. And my children said, you look like a Mother Earth. And it stuck. That was like 10, 12 years ago. And the name stuck. And I just kind of like kept it. Like, it felt good. It felt like me. I have 3 adult children and 5 grandchildren, 3 grandsons and 2 granddaughters, and they are my life. They are a lot of my motivation for healing and for being here today and sticking to my journey. I think I just want to kind of like say that I am no expert by no means, but what I found on my journey was some of the things that I started putting into practice for my wellness really helped. It was like very beneficial. And I took like more of a holistic approach to my healing, because it wasn't just about the food that I put in my mouth. It was about how I think. It was a spiritual, mental, and emotional warfare kind of going on. And I had to address all of these areas, in order to bring it all together and really get into my wellness journey. The process of getting healthier for me was that, I had to like really be intentional about the things that I watch, who I let influence me, who I talk to, who the environment that I was in, because I really noticed that, when I wasn't actively feeding my spirit and my soul, I was actively decaying. And that was the hit for me. Like, this process is a never ending journey, and I'm committed to it. I'm committed to staying in it for my wellness.
Wow, that was something, Mother Earth, when you said that, first of all, your kids identified with who you were first, and they called you, and they started calling you that. I want to know if you could explain more about what were some of your struggles, if you can elaborate more about that to let people know. Because and I say, and the reason why I want you to do that, and you can share as much as you want to, is because sometimes people feel like they can't change, that they're in something so deep and they can't turn it around. So this is why I want you to explain a little bit more about those the warfare and like some of the struggles that you were in.
Okay. I'm very transparent when it comes to that. Like, I don't have any problem doing it because I'm over it, or I'm healing. Like, that was in the past, but my past was tumultuous. I was addicted to crack cocaine for over half of my life. That addiction started in my junior or senior year at North Carolina A&T back in '84. And this was like, let me just tell you, this was like the height of the crack pandemic. Like, it was fresh on the scene, and it just came in and ravaged through our communities nationwide. And I got caught up in that crossfire. And and even despite pregnancies and having children that, I claim, I was so in love with, it did not keep me from using those drugs. So I felt so hopeless and helpless, and it seemed like every decade that rolled around, I was still in the midst of that struggle. And remember like my family throwing a little surprise birthday celebration for me when I turned 30. And I was just devastated. I was in tears because I did not like my life. I did not like how I felt. I did not like the way I was living. I felt like I hadn't accomplished anything. College degrees and education didn't mean anything because I was empty inside. Like I was trying to use all these things outside of me to fill up this hole, this void that started forming in my childhood. I had some childhood struggles and some molestation issues as well, which I think that's where the addiction kind of took root in that. So so when 40 rolled around and I was still using, and I was like, oh my God, is this gonna be my life? And I went through different programs. I know I've been through at least 6, 7 detoxes and treatment centers and life. And I just thought I was a hopeless case. But I don't know, somewhere around 42, 43, a light bulb came on. And I just made a decision to start doing something different. Like, not only was I tired of letting my children down, like I was tired of letting myself down and letting my dad down, because he did not bring me here to fail. He did not give me life for me to die. Before I did. And so that's kind of the gist of the struggles. And let me also add, because mental health is now on the forefront and people are actually talking about it. That's something that we didn't talk about in our communities. And as a result of my molestation and the drug addiction, like I had some mental health diagnoses, PTSD, depression, anxiety, all of that, and they put me on medications, which I did not want to take. I felt like I do enough drugs. Like I didn't want to put anything else on top of that. And so one of the things that I just started doing was like really looking at my diet and looking at some of the things that I could change in my diet that might help these conditions and help me to feel better.
Wow. What was that? That's amazing. Thanks so much for sharing that. People, a lot of times when people look at us, they see the, kind of like the polished look, and, especially with social media, it heightens the polish, but we don't want to harper on the past, but it is always, the past is what's always going to push us forward. So I just want to thank you for letting us in on that. So at 43, you had an awakening, so to speak, correct?
Yes.
So what was the first thing that you did? You say you looked at your diet. So what was the first thing that you did in your diet?
One of the first things, because I grew up in the South, and I know Georgia is South, but like where I grew up in North Carolina, to me, that was the most country place ever. And we ate a lot of that like slave type food, the pork, and put big ham hocks in all of our veggies, and fried chicken, fried pork chop, all of that. And I never was too really big on pork. Anytime my mother cooked pig ears and neck bones, I would skip dinner that day, or I would just eat the veggies. But I first just started like eliminating the beef and the pork, the ham, because I used to love some country ham with some grits and red eye gravy. Oh my God. To me, that was like the best eating. But and then just the veggies, because they always used to put that big ham hock in there, and it just seemed to just bring out all the flavor, all that goodness, you know. And so I started looking for other ways that I could season my food without the pork. And that was one of the beginning stages of it, looking at labels and cooking my food differently.
Okay, so you start looking at labels, cooking your food different. What about with spices? Were you did you start experimenting with a lot more spices than you were before?
Oh yeah, you know what? And I'm sitting right beside my spice drawer
Well,
right here.
show us what's going on over there, Mother Earth.
I actually, okay, so when we removed the ham hocks, we started using garlic, raw garlic. And a lot of my meals, I will start it with, I use palm oil and grapeseed oil instead of corn oil and canola oil. And I take the garlic cloves and peel them and use this baby right here and crush them. I also put my other herbs in here, and then I put that down in the oil. I use sea salt, no table salt, garlic, onion powder, garlic powder, herbs, no salt. And these are really good in your veggies. You know, I use a lot of turmeric and cayenne, which are also medicinal herbs.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. As you were saying that, I was thinking, you know, everything that you said talked about. And I know one of my Jamaican friends, she also enlightened me on a lot of stuff, like with the garlic, not just using the inside, but she's like, boil all of that garlic, the skin, the whole, like everything, you know, because it is a lot of medicinal properties in that. And what did you find it easy to do that? I mean, being that you had come from, you know, such a different background.
It was not easy. It was not easy at first. And then also not just that, being around the family trying to was really hard, because you know they did not want my greens that didn't have ham hocks in it, you know. And they talked about my greens, and I would bring my meatless greens to like family dinners, and you know, and they would look at it and bypass it, and that kind of made me feel bad initially. But really good with the seasonings, and like I said, the palm oil. Palm oil has like this flavor that kind of compensates for not having meat. And
okay.
so
Hold one thing, because I want you to break down palm oil for us that don't know what palm oil is. Palm is a plant,
palm
right?
oil is a plant. It's a tree. This a palm tree.
Okay.
It's like when I was in Ghana, how I saw it, it was kind of short, and it had the leaves like the banana leaves, like the palm leaves on top, and they would put a bucket down at the base and tap into that, and they would collect the oil that way.
Wow. Okay.
And it's orange. It's orange.
Okay. So palm oil. So everybody's watching. I hope y'all taking y'all getting y'all notes because I'm gonna go back and watch the replay. But palm oil is in another oil you mentioned. Was it canola oil?
Oh, grape seed oil.
Grapes,
Yeah.
grapeseed. No canola, right?
No canola, no peanut oil, no corn oil.
So grapeseed and palm oil. Which one of those oils can stand up to a lot of heat?
Both of them.
Both of them can. Okay, so those are the two things that we need to keep in our kitchen at all times: the palm seed and the grape. I
Grape
mean
seed,
the palm oil and the grapeseed oil.
I like them. I like them. There are other options as well. Coconut oil
Mhm.
and sesame seed oil. We use that as well.
Okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
I use coconut oil. And the thing about these oils are you can use them for everything, like inside your body and outside of your body. Right.
Right.
So go ahead. Thanks you guys for listening and you're watching our show on Foods That Heal. I'm here with the one and only Mother Earth, and she is telling us what she's doing in her kitchen. So now now that you've gotten past them the response of no meat in your greens, what does the family do now? How I know they're over there eating good now.
Well, my children and myself have kind of been on this journey. You know, we were all on board. My husband, I got married like 3 years ago. It'll be 3 years in next month. And he came in pescatarian. He doesn't eat any meat. So it was kind of, it's better. It's better.
Mhm.
And even some of my family in North Carolina, like my mom, we have encouraged her and motivated her and other people to change kind of the way they eat and cook as well. I did want to go back to one thing we were talking
Go
about,
ahead.
and I just wanted to say I never really had blood pressure problems, but when I went to grad school back in 2012, I think I was 40 something, 43, 44. I had my first bout with high blood pressure, and they put me on lisinopril, I think is the name of the pill. And I knew that I didn't want to take that. And I called up one of my Caribbean friends. I had a lot of Caribbean and African friends, and True, that was her name. She told me, eat a clove of garlic in the morning and at night. And I did that. And within 2 or 3 weeks, I was able to stop taking that medicine.
Mm,
And so
mm,
I'll practice doing that. Like I'll have a cup of tea at night normally before I go to bed, and
mhm.
we'll drop a clove of garlic in it. And it gets a little soft. And then when you're at the end, you can just,
Just
bite down,
swallow it.
right, swallow it down. And it's very, very good at combating high blood pressure.
Absolutely. And I know that here, in the States, our diets are really high in fat and we eat a lot of fast food. So, and this is for our viewers, our listeners. If we want things to be different, we have to do things differently. And so the first thing you talked about was eliminating things
Mm.
from out of your diet, and we haven't covered like the detoxing and different things of that nature. But I would encourage anybody to just, even if it's one meal a week that you can do different, you
Oh, yeah.
know, do that to start. If you're used to eating meat every single day, just have like a meatless Monday or something to just give your body that break. Do you fast or do detoxing at any point?
I do. I do. I wanted to add to what you said. Lifestyle changes and diet changes are never going to be easy, and we just have to be intentional. Like for me, I have to be so intentional about how I eat and the things that I buy. And I try to be intentional about setting realistic goals, because if I set my goals way up here and then somewhere down here, I'm going to be beating myself up. And nothing good ever came from me beating myself up. So, just be encouraged. Like, take your time. Like Wanda said, just take one thing, just one thing. And celebrate yourself. Even the shortcomings, like celebrate all of you, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of you, because it's all part of you. It's all part of me. And I had to love all parts of me before I even started really embracing my change.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. But as far as the detox, I'm glad you mentioned that. Like, we actually just did a cleanse, a purge last night. And what we used was the dandelion leaf and cinnapods. And then you take like some Epsom salt, and you want to make sure you get like the pure Epsom salt, not any with flavors or scents. And put like a tablespoon of the Epsom salt in a pot with the dandelion in the center. And this is a detox that my husband taught me. His mother made everybody in the house cleanse every change of seasons.
Okay.
And since I've started adapting to that, oh my God, it's a game changer for me, because I noticed that just last week, my energy was real low. I had brain fog. I just had a lot of little things going on. My stomach, was kind of like sluggish. Everything was sluggish. And so this cleanse, like, just picked things up. It cleared up my head, helped clear my skin. It removes toxins that you get in your system from just the environment, not just food, but the environment, the water. We pick up chemicals and toxins every day, and it's necessary to cleanse those.
So you all in your house, you do it every quarter. So y'all do it every change of season. And what was, when you did it the first time, do you remember like what you noticed immediately after you did it?
Oh my God. Well, it's not pretty. but the benefits outweigh all of that, because I know for me, I ran to the bathroom like all through the night. Even last night that happened, but the next day it's just so clear. Yeah, my thinking is clear. I'm lighter. I actually lost almost 6 pounds. Last night, before I did the cleanse, I weighed in at 182, and today I'm weighing in at 176. So this is just, you lose a lot of the fluid, the water weight, and all of that.
Okay, great. So tell us now, let's get into something right now. You all, if y'all watching, please tell us where you're tuning in from. You're listening to Mother Earth, and we're talking about some good tips in making some great intentional lifestyle changes, or incorporating some things into your diet that could be very, very beneficial. And you already shared with us about how your blood pressure, you was taking off the blood pressure medication. And I do know that garlic, and like I was telling you before, I learned that you should boil everything, like even onions. She was telling me about like onions, boiling it, drinking that, just certain things that I guess because of slavery, we were just stripped from a lot of knowledge, that we kind of like lost, in that. I remember as a child always going to the South because, I'm originally from Detroit. And every time we would pull up to my aunt's, she would be like, y'all coming from the cold country. And she would have this big old garden in the back, and just stay full with fresh herbs and vegetables, and like always it just smelled different. The food is so different. When you started your garden, and are you a part of a community garden as well?
I'm not really part of one. I haven't really joined up with one, but there are several in the area that I'll go visit and help out if I can.
Okay. So when you started your garden, what was some of the things that you had to, or what did you first start growing? Because funny story, I gotta tell this funny story. So the last year, my girlfriend, she bought a greenhouse, and she was growing everything. And I was trying to tell her not to put all of that stuff in that greenhouse, and it just took over.
Oh.
But that's what happened when you experiment. And so I just would like for you to share any tips you can with people that's thinking about gardening or want to get into that.
Yeah, well, this whole thing is based on experimenting. All the changes, that I made was just really just taking a chance, So when I first started, let me tell you, I just had a shovel. And I might have told you the story before. I had one shovel, and I broke up my mother's whole backyard doing this in a cross motion with that shovel. And the people were so happy to see me off the street. Niggas were coming from everywhere donating gardening tools to me. Somebody came, and my father came from Wilmington, an hour away, and brought his plow and tilled up my mom's backyard for me in the following years that I planted the garden. But I started with pretty easy crops are greens, onions. So I planted collard greens, turnip greens. Kale was always a little bit harder for me. Lettuce, cucumbers, tomatoes, squash, and zucchini. All of those are pretty easy vegetables to plant. Bell peppers, hot peppers.
Awesome. And all of them sound so delicious. So good. So good. So that's some tips for y'all to get started if y'all want to get started with your gardening. I have Mother Earth's information scrolling. Please check out her website. Follow her on IG and Facebook, and she does some amazing things. So let's get into this sea moss. And I'm so excited about talking about sea moss. So you tell us about what has been your experience, and why did you even get into sea moss? How long have you been using it?
I've been using sea moss now since 2015, 2016.
Okay, so she's no rookie, y'all. Listen to that. 2015, 2016. Okay.
Yeah, and I was introduced to sea moss the first time I went to Jamaica. And I went to this restaurant. I had a friend there, and he took us off the beaten path out into the countryside. And we went to this seaside restaurant, and they served sea moss drinks. And they asked me, what I wanted on the menu. And I'm like, I want that because it sounded good. And they said, that's for men. That make men strong. And I'm like, I want it, So I had my first experience with sea moss, and it was so delicious. And I just felt things after I drank that drink, first of all, was the energy boost, almost an immediate energy boost. And so when I came back to the States, I started looking for it, and I couldn't find it. It took me a little over a year, almost 2 years, to find dried sea moss. I actually did come across some powdered sea moss at Seven Onda back in like 2017. Mm-hmm. But and then so when I married my husband, and he's from Grenada, and I had sea moss there, and that just really, like, their sea moss was so beautiful, and I really felt it. Like, you will hear a lot of people that if they use sea moss regularly, like within minutes, you like feel it. You feel the energy boost. You feel like the medicinal benefits, as they're almost in real time. It's amazing. But this is dried sea moss from Grenada. I just did a post about pool grown sea moss. It looks totally different.
You say pool grown?
Pool. So I'm gonna grab one because I show people. I'm gonna grab it. One second.
All right. So guys, we're talking to Mother Earth, and right now we're about to talk about this sea moss. Okay, you came back. I thought I had to do a little info commercial.
So before pre-COVID, you can buy quality sea moss off of Amazon. And from some of the Afro-Caribbean stores here. But after COVID, because of the demand started increasing, they started looking for faster and cheaper ways to produce it. And so one of the ways is this pool-grown sea moss, where you can see it's kind of wet. Let me see. All right, I just want to show you up close and personal the difference. It's wet.
Mm-hmm.
And it has all that salt. And that's not sea salt, because we know what sea salt looks like.
Right.
That's like table salt.
Mm-hmm.
And it's heavy. Like, okay, so this right here is totally right?
Mm-hmm.
It's small.
Right.
And about this much of this equals this.
Okay.
And it will really expand. This would make almost an 8-ounce jar of sea moss right here.
Okay.
And and how I process it is, you wash it, and you wash it you can wash it with tap water, but then you're gonna soak it for a few hours. You never want to soak anything in tap water. You use a bottled water, because what you soak it in is what you're eating.
Right.
So you soak it and it expands, and then.
How long do you soak yours?
Anywhere 5 and 12 hours. I might soak it overnight. If I have it, I might just soak it 5 or 6 hours, and it is still expanding.
Can you soak it too much?
No.
No. Okay, good.
Because I like when I first started working with this, and I pulled out, and I just had sea moss for days, and I would I leave it in the refrigerator for up to a week or more, and just use it as I need it. Right. But after it's soaked, then you can gel it. And that's the process of putting it in the blender with some spring water and just blending it until it turns into a gel. And it looks like jelly. And I do a hot water bath. You know how they canned vegetables back in the day? Mm-hmm. I do the same with the sea moss, because that ensures its freshness when you're shipping it. So when I lift this up, see, it's sealed.
Okay.
It looks like good. Yeah, it looks like that. And sometimes if your sea moss is a little hard to blend and get this this consistency, like that soft, real soft, light, bubbly consistency, you can actually put it in hot water. I wouldn't recommend boiling it. A lot of people do that in the Caribbean, but for me, I just think about any live food. The more you cook it, the more
Loses its loses
right.
the nutritional value. So let's talk about tell our viewers some of the benefits of sea moss.
Oh wow.
Can you run through them?
Yeah, there are few. It first of all for increased energy. It helps regulate your thyroid system. It helps regulate your blood sugar, blood pressure. It is actually good for your sexual health. They call it an aphrodisiac. Like I said, in Jamaica, they said it's for men, you know. It's great for your skin, you know. It also helps remove mucus from your system, and which Dr. Sebi taught us that mucus is the root of all disease.
Right.
He didn't he said
all diseases. Right.
So you want to stay on top of that, you know, getting rid of the mucus out of your system. Even arthritis, like that's mucus settling in your
joints.
Right. And it's good for your respiratory health as well. And so many other benefits. You can look it up, and I have some things on my website and on my Facebook page as well about all of the benefits of sea moss. But it's detoxing as well. It helps you to purge and cleanse. Like if you do like the purge, the detox that we did last night, like if you take your sea moss daily, it will help control that.
And can sea moss, once you make it up, what is the refrigeration time? Like how long should you put it stored in a refrigerator?
Okay, so most people they say like 2 to 3 weeks. I use a very natural preservative. A friend of mine who is into herbalism told me about sunflower lecithin. Right here. It's a powder. It holds things together. It keeps it from separating, and it's a natural preservative. And I just use very, very little, maybe less than a tablespoon in a blender full. And what I find is when I make my sea moss, I can keep it in the refrigerator up to 2 months.
Okay.
And
good.
It's good. And yeah.
Okay. So, and I know that we can just call on you if we don't want to be blending and making it up, and you'll just make it up and ship it out and all this kind of stuff. And you often you took your last trip to Grenada. Do you always go there to get it, or do you let them send it to you?
The first time I went, I think I'm going to make a return trip, but my mother-in-law goes every year, twice a year as well. So when she's there, she'll ship it to me. I wanted to show you, I have different kinds. This is turmeric, and I use turmeric root to make this. It's a beautiful coat, and that's also for added protection against inflammation. I wanted to show you all.
How you going? What you going to show us? And I'm like, show us. I'm like the kids. Show us. We want to see. We want to know.
I wanted to give you a quick go-to recipe. The take sea moss. Okay, so you can just take it by mouth, by spoon, or like this right here is elderberry. So elderberry sea moss is more focused for the respiratory system, but so it has a little taste. like a berry taste, but not sweet. So could put this in your coffee, I mean your tea, maybe even your coffee. But like I like to put sea moss in my soups and in my vegetables. Tablespoon. So you could use this. That would even help with the flavor, some additional flavor to it. And you can put it in a smoothie, or like I said, or just take it straight up. Oatmeal, uh, oatmeal grits. It makes a real nice creamy grit. I
never use it in the oatmeal. I never tried it in oatmeal. I've tried it in like soups and spaghetti, because you don't even know it's there, but people be getting healthy and they don't even know it.
Okay, so over here, let me see if I can move this so y'all can see. Okay, you can see that, right?
Yeah.
So over here, I'm going to start with this elderberry sea moss. You can never use too much.
Now, what are you making us?
This is a smoothie.
A smoothie, okay.
And you can take it juice, 100% juice, or I sometimes use coconut milk and put that in. Blend it just a little bit to bring it all together. See, that's nice. And then here I have a banana. I cut up a fresh mango, and I have a few blueberries.
You're gonna make me come over there and get my smoothie.
And I have a piece of fresh ginger that I peeled.
I love ginger.
Yep. And so I put all of that in. Now, you know those black bananas that nobody wants to eat that stay around for a minute. You can put those in there, and you don't have any need for a sweetener. It naturally sweetens your smoothie. So I'm gonna put that in there, a piece of that in there, and I'm gonna add a little more juice. And there you have it. Yeah, it smells so good, and look at the color.
Yum. Oh, that looks divine.
Oh, yeah.
We want one. Yum. I love it. So this is the I hope our listeners, viewers are taking notes. Hey, shout out to everybody's watching. I'm sorry I can't see you. I know everybody's on different devices, but I'm here today with Mother Earth, and it has been a interesting discussion because we mainly talking about sea moss, but we also, and this is what I want to bring around again, is the changes that we need to make in our life. Sometimes, we need to make changes so we can live longer, so we can live better. Heart disease is the number one killer, and we can avoid heart diseases. We can avoid like you said, the respiratory problems, even with cancer, we know that cancer can live if the body goes into an alkaline state, but they're not going to tell you this. And I'm not a doctor, so don't say Wanda said. These are facts. I've seen people heal. I've watched people heal by changing their diets, just simply adding some things, incorporating some things, and eliminating some things. So we have to say to ourselves, like, self, am I worthy of the change? And then, like you said, Mother Earth, is getting around the right people, your environment, making sure that your environment is friendly to your change. and it all will pay off. You've given us a lot of great information, and we're going to continue this conversation because, well, one thing is necessary. Then two, I know that even with sea moss alone, we talked about, the different things that's good for, like facials, your hair, your skin. In case some of you want to do good for your feet, if you have like feet fungus problems or whatever, take some sea moss and put it in your foot bath. Do some things that will literally change how you do business, how you operate. We have to. This is my point. I'm bringing it home. I'm bringing it home, Mother Earth. I'm bringing it home. My point is, we deserve to live a whole life. But we can't get there if we missing pieces of our health. We can never get there. You can, as they say, hot word, chase the bag. You can get the bag, the bag will be irrelevant if we don't take care of our health. And why should we get medicated, and why should we depend on outsiders to take care of us when we just have to go back to our roots and take care of ourselves?
You have a very good point. Like, we live in a society that's so right now. They want everything fast, and we're trying to keep up. But what I know is part of the lifestyle change for me, and getting away from some of the heart disease, like fast foods is like a killer, And so when I started making some changes, I had to make the time to do some meal prep sometime. Like today, Sunday, is my day to make a big pot of vegetable soup. And we eat soup in the summer, as well as soup is very, very good for you. And so I'll make a big pot of vegetable soup, and we can go back to that pot, when we don't have time to cook a meal. And that could save you a whole lot of stress, a whole lot of it could save you from some heart disease, just eating that soup instead of going to the fast food joint and getting a burger and fries.
Absolutely. Any last tips you want to leave our viewers? And do you have any events or anything coming up that you want to share with us? Or any specials? Are you doing any specials or anything?
Okay, so right now I don't have any events on the calendar, but this is springtime in Atlanta, y'all. So y'all know me, I'm vending at some of these events. Just look out for me. I'll be there with CMOS on board. You can always find me at my website or on Instagram or on my Facebook page. I'm always here to answer any questions. I have people that just call me up and ask me, about certain things. And like I said, I'm no expert, and I can really only help you or give you what I have, what I've experienced, and that's all I really have. If it's out of my range, I might be able to refer you to someone. There are a couple of shout outs I want to give while I'm on here. Like, support Black business, y'all. We have Morrow over at Fruits, Veggies, and Herbs on Campbellton Road in Atlanta. He sold my CMOS gel all through COVID. He is there. He has all kinds of herbs from here in the motherland. He is there to serve you in Wadadas. Holler at Kim at Wadadas. They have, and that's in the West End on Abernathy. They also have lots of herbs over there, and they can answer any questions on what you might need.
Wow. For you. Thank you so much. I have really appreciated our discussion, every time. And this is why, This is why you need to have good people in your life, because like you said, it's not easy making these lifestyle changes, and it's easy to get off track. I mean, you can have all of the information, you can know how to do all of the things to write, but then something happens and it throws you off track. So we want to say today, let us all get back on track for taking care of ourselves. Let us all get back on track for saying positive things to ourselves, positive self-talk, eliminating the things that we need to eliminate. And we all know what those things are. You don't have to be spanked or disciplined. You know what they are. As well as the toxicity of people, that in your life that you may need to eliminate or put on the shelf or whatever, and then let's start surrounding ourselves with like-minded individuals. And if you want to say go on that journey for change in your diet, get you a buddy. Get you a buddy that you can say, like, hey, let's do it together. Let's hold each other up. Let's be accountable to each other. And then that way you can check in, maybe start a system where it's like a smoothie a day. I know Knowledge, he does a powerful smoothie as well. Like every morning it's loaded with a whole bunch of yummy goodness. But these are just things that we can do for ourselves, and then we can help each other out along the way. So I'm just thankful that you came in and took us in your kitchen and shared your journey. And I'll be over there to play in your garden and get my hands dirty and bring my kids.
Anybody that know me know that I got an open door.
Right. Yes. And I want to share with our viewers this quote. This is from Gandhi, that said, it is health that is real wealth, and not pieces of gold and silver. And we can relate that to like money or whatever. A lot, like I said before, a lot of people, we're trying to get somewhere, but we really have to take care of ourselves so we can enjoy the journey. I met a lady today, and she was 70. She's 70 years old, and she's just such a beautiful lady. And she said, I want to live. And this is what she said to me: I want to live at least 20 more years. And her reason was to see her grandchildren graduate from college. And I said, well, 20, well, you just want 20 more, you could have your 30 more if you want to, but we used to live longer a long time ago. But so have some goals. Let's set some health goals for ourselves. Like I said again, just to a reminder of, if you can't make the swift change, just make gradual changes and get you a buddy, somebody that you can call on and say, you know what? If it's to incorporate CMOS, and just to remind yourself, set your watch to, hey, don't forget your CMOS every day, and it will change your life. A lot of those health conditions that we face and can evaporate if we do what we need to do for ourselves. And again, we are not medical experts. We are not the doctor, but what is a mother? A mother is a expert. I mean,
Yes.
like really, like
Wanda, can I just add this really quick? You're right.
yes.
Okay, so my oldest daughter, when she had my first granddaughter, she could not take those prenatal vitamins for nothing. She could not keep them down. And I had just got some of that good CMOS too. I was like, girl, I said, let me make you a CMOS shake every morning, baby. And I did that. Before I went to work, I would go in that kitchen and make her a CMOS shake. She never took a prenatal vitamin. And that baby came out so healthy, smart, and beautiful. And all she had was CMOS.
Wow. Now that is it. That is that is the showstopper right there. Healthy babies deserve CMOS from the moment of conception. I love it. So Mother Earth, are you going to come back and bless us some more with these wonderful recipes and wonderful talks?
I will. You keep blessing us, you know.
Take us through a tour of your garden the next time, and we're going to keep doing some amazing things. So again, I just want to thank you. Let me put your information out here, and you all please reach out to her. Follow her on IG and Facebook. Look for her under Mother Earth Holistic Healing LLC. And you can also check out her website. Go there, order you some sea moss, and she sells it, and you can buy it and be blessed because of it. Go to the website www.motherearthholistichealing.com. And I just love you, and I want you to stay healthy, stay strong, stay loving us, stay taking care of the earth, stay taking care of, the community and everything else. And I look forward to seeing you very, very soon.
I receive all of that. I love you too. Thank you for what you do for all of us, Wanda. I love you, Queen.
Thank you. Guys, y'all have just been inspired by Mother Earth. And I can't express to us enough how important it is for our life. If we don't get our health right, life is just not worth living. I wake up every morning and I say, thank God for the wake up call, because being in your right mind, and we didn't talk about that, but trust me, Alzheimer's is also another number one killer, because when that mind goes, it plays tricks on you and you become depressed and everything else. I've witnessed that happen with my grandparents. So my prayer every day is just to wake up in my right mind. After that, I can handle the rest. So, with our health, we got to get our health right, and we got to keep it on track. So I just want to encourage you to, if this information was valuable to you, please put a comment down and let us know that you tuned in and that you received something out of this conversation that we had. Our next show, and I don't want to show that because I changed the title, but our next show, it will be May 1st, and we're going to talk about it's going to be a product showcase. So if you have a product or a service and you want to come in and talk about it, showcase it, however you want to do it, it's only a few slots left. But if you're interested, then please send an email to the IamEnoughTalkShow@gmail.com. Or also, if you're interested in being a sponsor, you can send an email there. And like I said, our next show will be May 1st. And that's my month. That's my around the orbit month. So watch out, May. Watch out, May. Okay. I got that out. May 1st, all right, is our next show. And again, to remind you that this is the I Am Enough Talk Show, where your dreams matter. I'm your host, Wanda D, the Motivational Queen. And I want you to continue to love on yourself the best way you can, because nobody can beat you loving on you but you. I love you. I love you truly. And there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Peace. Let me see if I can grab MC Class to take us out. Peace, peace, peace. Where you at, MC Class? And bye for now.
Go through with PTSD also, I'm ex-military. But I learned how to turn it into microphone techniques. So I'm going to freestyle, and then I'm going to tell y'all a little something. Because Wanda D told me to freestyle. Say, I am enough.
I am enough.
I am enough. Hard with the drums. I am enough.
I am enough.
I am enough.
I am enough.
I come from the boogie down, south side of town. MCs like me, we come incredible. See, I've been spending so much time in my head. Grab the microphone. Did you hear what I just said? I got skills, rocking on the mic. I pay bills all the time. Rapping on the beat with the rhyme. I'm coming off the top of my mind. I do this all the time. This is how I grind. I am enough.
I am enough.
King it, I am enough.
I am enough.
I am enough.
I am enough.
I am enough. Times right now, totally rough. Every time I'm dealing with this stuff, I grab the microphone and I don't bluff. And when I hold the microphone, I'm like the rough. Sit back and watch the crowd rock. I grab the microphone non-stop. Blast the microphone. microphonist, I got a bonus to grab this mic and do just what I like. Too much hesitation, I had to take the time. Sit back, relax, so I can unwind. Messing with my mind. Now I gotta come out here and show this one time that I could unwind. Say a little stuff that was on my mind. And this is how we do. Are y'all with me? I'm with you too. Say I am enough. Say I am enough. Come on, times are tough and you know it's rough, but say I am enough. Say I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. I'm from the Bronx, baby. Alright.
In the 8 seat.